Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 4 of the 2015 NFL season. Well, in the first game, I'm going to be taking the Pittsburgh Steelers at home over the Baltimore Ravens. The ravenous defense, it does not seem to be there anymore. And Pittsburgh will not have Ben Roethlisberger, but they will have wide receiver Antonio Brown, number 2 in the league in receiving yards right now, and they will have running back Le'Veon Bell. And I think that will be enough for them to emerge victorious in this game. Baltimore is 0-3. They're floundering. I'm very flabbergasted. I'm very bewildered by what's happened or not happened with the Ravens right now. The offensive line has only allowed 2 sacks. That being said, that's not going to be enough for the Ravens. I like Pittsburgh at home. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the New York Jets on the road over the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Jets, I'm thinking last week may have been an aberration for them. They have defeated Miami the last 3 times at Miami, so that is a good sign for them. Their offensive line has only allowed 2 sacks. They are the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL right now. Miami quarterback Ryan Tannehill threw 3 interceptions last week. I think Miami's a little bit overhyped. It seems like the last several seasons, everybody's given them these grandiose expectations and they're going to be a Super Bowl contender and this and that, and they just wind up finishing with a mediocre record. And I think the same thing is going to wind up happening this year, and they might actually finish under 500. Getting Ndamukong Suh, they thought was going to make this team magically turn things around. It seems like that people have been in for a rude awakening, I believe. I like the New York Jets to win this one on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts at home to prevail over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Indy, they have maybe their luck is rejuvenated. They have outscored Jacksonville 161-43 the last 4 games against Jacksonville. Now they've also won 5 consecutive over the Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars are only averaging 16.3 points per game. They've given up 30.3 points per game. So -3 in turnover differential. They have the linebacker Paul Posluszny, and he has 34 tackles and leading the NFL. Well, they may be doing a lot of tackling in this game, and I like Indy to prevail at home. Now, the next game. Now, talk about superseding expectations. The Buffalo Bills are rejuvenated, and I think their expansive, incorrigible, optimistic coach, I guess he's the incorrigible optimist, Rex Ryan, I think has a lot to do with it. Now, Buffalo is averaging 33.3 points per game in 2015. They have averaging 152.7 rushing yards per game. Now, the New York Giants, a lot of people think, well, Eli Manning, he's shown resiliency. Okay, they won a game. But I just don't think they have it to go into Buffalo to beat him. I think Buffalo's personnel is superior right now. And the Giants are number 32 in pass defense in the NFL, and I think Buffalo's going to have a field day against the Giants secondary. I'm a New York Giants fan. Don't get me wrong, but I see Buffalo really having a fun day against that secondary, and I like the Buffalo Bills to win. Now, the next game, the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to take them on the road to defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carolina has been on a rampage since last season. They've won 8 of 9 since 2014. And this is a team where Cam Newton, if he could be efficient and their defense plays solid, they should win this game. Now, Tampa Bay was swept by Carolina last season. And Tampa Bay, they have defensive end Jackie Smith. He's leading the NFL in 4 sacks. It'll be interesting to see the progression of quarterback Jameis Winston in this particular game, and it is a home game. They may play the Panthers tight, but I still see Carolina emerging victorious in this one. I like the Panthers on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Washington Redskins to win at home over the Philadelphia Eagles. It's an interesting contrast in these two teams. With the Washington Redskins, they are actually number one in time of possession in the NFL right now, while the Philadelphia Eagles are number 32 in time of possession right now. Washington is one of three teams. They have no interceptions this season. They're -5 in turnover differential. However, their kickoff return average is 36.2 yards per game, number 2 in the NFL. Washington has shown some ability on offense, and they're putting up some points. In Philadelphia, they're kind of sporadic and erratic. They looked like, I know they beat the Jets last week, but they're still 1-2, and they didn't play particularly well in the second half. And I wonder if that's going to be a carryover in this game. And I do. Philadelphia had their first 100-yard rusher since Week 13 in 2015. And I don't know if they could duplicate it in this game. I like the Redskins to win at home. Now the next game, I want to take the Oakland Raiders on the road to beat the Chicago Bears. Now, Oakland Raiders saying that they've superseded expectations, that's probably an understatement. They're number 32 in total defense. However, they have put up 64 points in the last two games. The offense seems to be revived right now. Chicago last week, their offense was deplorable to say the least. They had 10 possessions and 10 punts, 0 points against the vaunted Seattle Seahawks defense. They're going to have second-year quarterback David Foles in this game. And Chicago Bears are number 32 in scoring defense in the league. This looks very ominous. Chicago may be at home, but I like Oakland Raiders to prevail on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons to win at home over the Houston Texans. Now Atlanta is number 3 in total offense, number 4 in scoring offense. The Matt Ryan, Julio Jones tandem has been sensational right now. They are on a roll. Their offense is playing phenomenal. Houston, they have defensive end J.J. Watt. He has 19 tackles and 3 sacks on the season, but do they really have that much else? They're going to have to try to pressure Matt Ryan the best they can in this game, and the defense is going to have to step up for Houston to have a chance to win. This is a road game. Atlanta, to me, they seem to be rejuvenated this season. They're playing like that team we saw, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 seasons ago, that made the postseason. And I think, maybe, I don't know if they're going to really regain that form, but they could be a playoff team this season, and I like Atlanta at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals at home to win against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Cincinnati is number 2 in total offense. There was some online blog I saw that they were thinking that Cincinnati has some chance to beat New England this season to get as far as AFC championship goes. But seeing is believing. Cincinnati has shown in recent years they're a perennial regular season team, but I like to see it to believe it in terms of having playoff success. So that being said, Kansas City is 1-2 right now. They're number 24 in total defense, number 29 in scoring defense. They've given up nearly 30 points per game. The defense has not looked very good for Kansas City. I think this really doesn't bode well for them in this game. They have to go on the road and play a team that's very good at home and has a very potent offense. I like Cincinnati at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the San Diego Chargers to win at home over the Cleveland Browns. San Diego right now, they're number 4 in passing yards, and they're also they've averaged 296.3 yards per game passing. Quarterback Philip Rivers has thrown 4 INTs this season. I don't think he's going to throw more than 1 in this particular game. Cleveland has given up 10 sacks. They've lost 7 of 8, dating back to last season. This is not the team that started out 2014 with a flourish. It looks more like the team in the second half of 2014, and it's continued regression right now. And I do like San Diego to win at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers on the road to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Green Bay, number 4 scoring offense. They're +3 in turnover differential. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers kept his streak alive at home, and I'm not just talking about the consecutive win streak, the consecutive attempts at home without an interception. Now, I understand there's no flawless or infallible NFL player, but Aaron Rodgers is very close to it. San Francisco right now, they just remind me of a dilapidated building that just keeps falling apart piece by piece, week by week. They're number 32 in points per game, and they're also with 15.0 average, and they're also giving up 31 points per game, number 31 in points per game against. The scoring defense is lamentable. Quarterback Colin Kaepernick did not look good at all last week, and I don't know what's going on if they're going to start him, but I think they have issues at quarterback, and that's in really Green Bay should win this one fairly easily, I believe, on the road. Now the next game, I want to take the Arizona Cardinals to beat the St. Louis Rams. Arizona is at home. There's not enough superlatives to say about the Arizona Cardinals. They're averaging 42 points per game. That's number 1 in the NFL right now. The combination is really phenomenal with Carson Palmer and Fitzgerald. They're number 1 with the scoring offense, and this is a team that can play well on both sides of the ball. They may very well be Super Bowl bound if they keep this up. And Carson Palmer, if he can stay healthy, that's going to play an integral role, of course, in their Super Bowl fortunes. Now, St. Louis, the one positive they have is they are number 1 in the NFL in sacks. They have a relentless pass rush. They're going to need to get to Palmer to have any shot in this particular game. They also have 251 tackles right now, and they might have to do a lot of this in order to win in this particular game. And they will, St. Louis may make this close, being that it is a divisional game, but I really don't see it. I think Arizona's going to win by at least 2 touchdowns easily in this one. I like Arizona at home. Now, the next game, Denver Broncos, I'm going to take at home over the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Denver, what's interesting is Peyton Manning does not have to play sensational. Now, they have a very good defense, and Denver is not winning in really the same manner they've won in the past. The wins might seem a little bit ugly, but they are getting it done, which is the main thing. It's the W that counts. And the defense right now, they have 6 interceptions right now. They've only given up 16.3 points per game. They're one of the better scoring defenses in the league. Now, Minnesota, in contrast, okay, now they're number 32 in passing yards per game. They're going to have to try to move that ball. It's going to be very tough. Adrian Peterson is the NFL's leading rusher right now. And even so, even after a subpar game 1, it just shows you how much talent this guy has. They're obviously going to have to ground and pound. They're going to have to try to dominate time of possession and keep it out of Manning and company's hands. And that's the only shot I see Minnesota winning. But I like Denver to win at home. Now, the next game. Now, we have the New Orleans Saints at home over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take the Saints. Now, the Saints have dominated the Cowboys in recent time. They've taken the last 8 of 10 from them. Now, the quarterback for New Orleans, Drew Brees, his status is uncertain. And even whether he plays or not, I still like them because Dallas is going to go with their number 2 guy, Brandon Weeden. They are on Dallas on the positive aspect of this team. They are averaging 105.3 yards rushing per game. And the rushing game is going to have to figure strongly, I think, for Dallas to win. New Orleans, they have not played well at home in recent time. I realize that. But they're going to have to win at some point, and I think this is do or die week for them. And the fact they're at home, even if it's their number 2 starting quarterback versus the number 2 of Dallas, I think on virtue of home field we can go with New Orleans. And I like the Saints to win at home. Now, last but not least, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks at home over the Detroit Lions. Now, Seattle right now, on the real negative side, they've given up 12 sacks right now, and they're going to have to do a much better job of protecting quarterback Russell Wilson. I think they will be able to do that. I understand what's interesting in this game. Seattle has no interceptions after 3 weeks. I thought was very interesting. As far as the kickoff return average, Seattle is number 3 and Detroit is number 4. So field positioning may figure more prominently in this game than the average fan may think. Detroit is number 32 in rushing yards. So it's almost like they're going to be forced to air it out, or they're going to have their running back really step up immensely for them to have a chance. Detroit's 0-3. Seattle is 1-2. They won their last game, as many of you may know, annihilating the Bears, and I think their streak will continue. Seattle generally doesn't lose at home, and I don't see them losing to the Detroit Lions. So I like Seattle at home. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for my Week 4 2015 NFL picks. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my 2015 Week 5 NFL predictions. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.